along. Great. This is going to be great.
This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
Pull the ball for power. He's got tremendous power to right center as well.
And he pulls this one deep to left center, way back, and gone! The Brewers strike first in Game 5.
Number one in our hearts and number one when it comes to the catching position for the Milwaukee Brewers for the foreseeable future. Not long term, but a couple years for sure. William Contreras, the dinger he led off with and got the Brewers lead with in Game 5 against the Cubs in the NLDS. Audio courtesy of TNT. What's up, Wisconsin? Happy Friday. We made it. Man, was it a long week for anybody else, Joshua?
Yes, sure was.
I just struggled to get out of bed this week. My alarm went off, and I was like, no. I mean, I got up.
Snooze.
I didn't even hit snooze once. It was just one of those like, I didn't feel like I slept at all. Yeah. If I hit snooze, it's over.
Oh, really?
I don't snooze.
Oh, boy.
I count to 10.
Good to know.
Trevor Thomas, Josh Albrecht.
Hi.
Inside Wisconsin Sports, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Let's play catch up and start with our Milwaukee Brewers.
Brewers.
In case you missed it, William Contreras signs a new deal with the Brewers, not a long-term extension, but a new deal, and avoid the whole arbitration, hearing, trial, whatever the whole thing is. So you might remember the Brewers filed at $8.55 million. Contreras filed for arbitration at $9.9 million, and they met in the middle. A 1-year, $9.4 million deal for the Brewers, and Contreras agreeing to that before their scheduled arbitration hearing later this year. And this is the biggest piece, I think, Josh.
Yep, sure is.
There's a $14.5 million club option for 2027. Yep. Not his option, not his agent's option, not some other team's option. The Brewers' option, meaning if we see value after this year in giving William Contreras about a $5 million raise for one season without signing him to some long-term extension, we can do so for $14.5 million.
Yep. That absolutely is the biggest part to focus on here with what the Brewers did with Contreras yesterday, because now there's so many ways to look at this and what the Brewers decide to do next, right? One, they could say, yeah, Contreras, you fell off. We're not going to take that club option. We're ready to move on to the next guy. Or they can exercise that option and have him play that last year. They could trade him. They could sign him that and then trade him for something. Or they could have him there and then not even use that option and extend him and give him a bigger contract to keep him here longer. It really opens up the doors for the Brewers to literally kick the can down the road and then see where the team is at, where the organization is at, and make the best decision then. It was a great move.
2025, he batted .260, 17 home runs, 76 RBIs in 150 games, many, if not all, with a busted finger. I mean, so the guy is as hard-nosed as we could ever want in a catcher for the Brewers. It was the week of the catchers. That spot seems pretty summed up.
Yeah,
now we wait for third base.
Well, exactly. But as Brewers fans, does anyone not love Contreras? Does anyone not want Contreras to be the guy there? I've
never heard any.
I know that there are some people that are looking, and I'm forgetting his name right now, but there's a guy that we have waiting in the wings in AAA who hasn't been able to necessarily stay healthy, but they're thinking in the next couple of years.
Jefferson Cuero.
There you go. Who they're thinking he might be the next guy, and you have him just like you have the rest of the prospects that could be here soon. And the problem is it doesn't seem like he's been able to make it through an entire season in the minors right now with injuries, but I'm sitting here going, yeah, I understand you have the bag of prospects. Contreras to me, and this was my first thought when they didn't keep Freddie, was all right, but keep Contreras. Keep Wild Bill.
Yep.
Keep him longer. I want him longer. I'm hoping that at the very least they like they did with Brandon Woodruff, that they pay him that club option. Absolutely.
On to the Badgers.
Bucks.
Nope.
Badgers.
They're at Ohio State tonight, 7 o'clock. Then after that, they play Tuesday versus Iowa. Can Bucky keep it rolling? They're 9-4, 17-7 overall, 9-4 in the Big Ten, tied for sixth, one game back of that 10-3 group just above them. Michigan, 13-1 at the top. Then Illinois, 11-3. Then Nebraska, Michigan State, and Purdue, all 10-3. If Bucky can keep this rolling, this could be a really fun March for Wisconsin. Those two bees, those killer bees, are really killing it right now.
Yeah, they are. I think that it's very interesting because usually I don't know that for the Badgers, so much depends on the actual Big Ten tournament, right? We talked to Brad Davison about that, about just it's different than other smaller conferences like the Horizon, where you're only going to get one team. But there's so much competition in the Big Ten this year that it really seems like your conference record is going to mean a lot, and how things end up going down the stretch in the Big Ten tournament is going to mean something too.
And when do we start watching? Meaning, if you're not a fan that watches every single game, if you're not involved with the regular season and you kind of hang on till March Madness, when do you start watching? Is it now? Is it the Big Ten tournament, or do you wait for the actual NCAA tournament? That's relevant in conversation today. Coming up in I Have Questions, this stems from a conversation yesterday about paying attention to the Olympics. And when do we watch the Olympics and how often? And somebody said, well, it's cheap, if you will, that we only pay attention to these sports once every 4 years, meaning Winter Olympics 4 years from now, Summer Olympics every 4 years. They stagger each other every 2 years. But how often are we finding ourselves watching figure skating, or in some cases, watching hockey? And so the question today, what other sport would cause us to feel that way if indeed they only had their championship, their Super Bowl, once every 4 years? Would we pay attention to the NFL the way we do now if there was only one massive Super Bowl every 4 years? It kind of reminds me of the World Cup, right? Is it the World Cup, the FIFA World Cup? How often is that?
I think that's also every, 2 years?
That is the most we're ever going to talk about soccer on this program, but I'm just
100%.
kind of comparing it to that.
That's also 4 years.
414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law fan talk and text line. I have questions coming up. Get your answers to that question or your questions to us. We will answer them coming up at about 6:25. Packers. There was a report yesterday from CBS Sports that the Packers, are expected to hire respected college front office official Will Redmond, not that Will Redmond. It's going to be in a personnel role. He was most recently the GM at Auburn, and before that, he was the director of player personnel at LSU. Okay, pause. Why does that make sense for the NFL? Well, it's literally the feeder program. And so if we can build the front office and replace guys like John Eric Sullivan and others that may move on with people in the college ranks that fully understand what it means now to be signing players, working with agents, understanding how the most to get out, or how to get the most out of something like an NIL deal, that makes a heck of a lot of sense for the NFL these days. So it's kind of neat to see that these are crossing paths, because for so many college fans, Josh, we were hoping this wouldn't last. Come on, they're going to fix this NIL thing, right?
Right.
Nope, actually, it's here to stay. And as a matter of fact, now the NFL is going to go, well, then screw you. We're going to pluck some people that would make a heck of a lot of sense for us.
Yeah, I mean, if you can't beat them, join them, right? Like that's essentially where it's at. And I think it's interesting too, because I don't remember a season where we were focusing so much on moves in the front office and but that's because there usually aren't these many changes at the smaller positions that we're focusing on. A lot of these guys that are being plucked from the Packers and even, you talked about Sullivan there, like he was with Goody for a long time. These aren't positions that, we're used to having to report on. But yeah, adding another piece to the puzzle.
On to the Bucks.
Bucks.
Had it firing on all cylinders last night. Listen to this.
I like that. Here's Nance. Outside Thomas. Good from downtown. Milwaukee hitting on all cylinders.
There you go.
110-93. The Bucks now on a winning streak? Is it a winning streak now?
Absolutely.
Do we
so
say
first
that?
of all, Michael Grady and Brent Barry for NBA on Prime Video on the call there. First time the Bucks had beaten OKC, I think it said, since 2024. And first place to win their fifth in a row. I'm calling it. The tank is over. The tank's over.
Did the tank ever begin?
The tank was here for a week. Yeah. I think the Bucks were tanking for a week. Not even a week of games. I think legitimately like 7 days. And then it was like, nope, okay, that's done. We're back to trying to win.
Anything else?
Anything else?
Yeah, for sure. Marquette plays Saturday, the 14th, versus St. John's at the Fiserv, 2:00 tomorrow afternoon. After that, next Wednesday, February 18th at Georgetown at 8 p.m. Central. USA Hockey, the men's side of things, is off and running now. They're in their preliminary games. And yesterday, Latvia said, goody.
Yep.
Team USA. 5-1. USA wins their upcoming games now versus Denmark tomorrow, 2:10 Central. And then on Sunday, same time against Germany. These are both preliminary games. And then next Tuesday, the playoff round. And then Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday next week is when hopefully Team USA makes their way to gold medals. Team USA women's hockey, we talked about this the other day, 5-0 against Canada. They play today at 2:10 Central versus Italy in the quarterfinals. So they're through the preliminary rounds, onto the quarterfinals for them. Monday, the 16th, the semifinal round for the women's, and then the bronze game on Thursday, and then the rest TBD based on how those games go. Josh, are you scheduling that time on your calendar, trying not to miss hockey?
I will be. If they're in it in those games for having a spot on the podium, absolutely.
So you'll wait until next week. You're not watching now.
Well, I'll watch now, but I'm not looking ahead to the schedule like that far in advance and going, okay, I got to cancel this plan. I got to cancel.
No, I
this
meant
plan.
today, like today and tomorrow, right? So today, the women's team play at 2:10. The men's team play tomorrow at 2:10. Is that like on your radar to watch these games?
I'll look. I'll see if it's on. I'll be like, oh, and then I'll probably bring it up on my phone.
So
But
that's a no. That's a no.
It's not. I'm canceling plans. It's I'm going to watch at whatever I'm doing.
Here's what a goal sounded like for Team USA yesterday. It's
so
fun
pretty.
to watch.
Here comes Jack Hughes. Hughes dropping it back off the quick behind the back pass. He could jump. Back to Jack Hughes. Nelson, score! Wow!
An absolute thing of beauty for the red, white, and blue.
I mean, yeah, that's just so much fun to see. And I watched that goal, man, I don't know, 30 times.
Yeah, what was that specifically, Josh?
So that was the goal that I believe it went up 4-1, and it was like a behind the back pass to then another pass to then the goal. And when my favorite part is when you're listening here, the announcer was trying to keep up.
The back pass, he could jump. Back to Jack Hughes. Nelson, score!
Like he couldn't even say what he was doing because he's just saying the names.
Audio courtesy of NBC Sports and the 2026 Olympic Games. Something else to report from yesterday. I am overjoyed for our friend Doug Gottlieb. UWGB sitting alone in third place in the Horizon League after a big win over Purdue Fort Wayne last night, 76-59. They have a game at Milwaukee on Sunday, 2:00. Then they head to Oakland and Detroit Mercy next Friday, Sunday, and then their last game of the season here in Green Bay on Saturday, the 28th versus Youngstown State. A couple things to process from last night. Number one, GB's legit. We've talked about this for some time. There's a rebuild happening, and it's, I guess, happened. They're now 15-12. And Doug yesterday talked about how today is the 1-year anniversary of 21 losses in a row. And he made sure to not only spend time thinking about that, but to note that. And then he goes on to talk about how senior night is very, very important on February 28th. Josh, he actually grabbed the mic after the game and talked to the entire arena. And I was like, Doug, what did you say? And he's like, dude, there is reason to be here to support guys like Preston Riedinger and other seniors. But Preston Riedinger from Northeast Wisconsin originally spent some time elsewhere, but then came back because this was the place he always dreamed of playing. And there's a guy who could have probably transferred and gone somewhere else. And Doug would say he's the Horizon League MVP. And ultimately, he chose to stay and rebuild and help UW Green Bay basketball get back on the map. When Doug started last year, him and I had some personal conversations, and one of them was how people had shared with Doug Gottlieb that he wasn't going to be able to win here in Green Bay. I asked him that in the press conference last night and said, well, you're winning. So what was it that you believed in? What's causing you to win? Here's what he had to say.
As I said last year, you only get one shot. Okay. If you cut corners, it eventually it's going to come back and get you. And after that game, I was completely distraught. And Mike Alexander came in the locker room and I started explaining what happened. He goes, you don't have to explain to me. You made a decision. I support you. At the end of the year last year, we got together for breakfast, Josh, Mike, and I. And, I had all the different things that I were kind of like excuses, explanations. He didn't care. He said, I love what you're doing. I love that I'm all in. Tell me how I can help.
Mike Alexander is the chancellor at UW Green Bay. Josh Moon is the athletic director. Doug was talking about a game last year when he benched Anthony Roy, the leading scorer in the entire country at the time.
Yeah.
And how distraught he was after having to make that decision. And Chancellor Mike and Josh Moon said, we're good. Make these hard decisions. That's what it's going to take. And so Doug said that what it takes to win is having a president of a university or a college, in this case, the chancellor, and the athletic director and the head coach all on the same page, rowing in the same direction. And in my head, I said, well, if that's the case, then UW football should be immaculate this year.
That's a fair point. They're all on the same page too, right? That's all it takes,
right?
That's the recipe. I mean,
I think was a bag of money.
I think there's probably a little bit more to it than what DG is saying. I mean, you got to have, he might be just being a little humble too, but no, absolutely, it's a great story. It's amazing comeback to see from 1 year ago what's been happening at UWGB.
I asked him late in the presser. Doug's a bit long-winded in case you've never listened to our interview with him on Wednesdays at 8. And some of the reporters, we have to be on the same page. All right, guys, no more questions. Let's all get out of here. We all have deadlines and things to do and, times to hit and audio to grab. For the first time ever, and I've been a part of this program on a close level for, I think, 8 years now. But I was going to games before that. The student section showed up last night in a major way for UW Green Bay. Wisconsin, you do not understand how rare that is for this school. It is just not the type of campus that usually gets that type of support. Last night, totally different ball game. And for the first time ever in my memory, the student section was
Mhm.
cheering for a player to get in the game. Nationally on ESPN2 last night, they're cheering for a redshirt freshman to be put in the game late in the game because Green Bay had, for the most part, an 18 to 20 to 16 to 20 point lead for the majority of late in the second half. They were chanting for this kid to get in, Brady Fitzgerald. And I asked Doug, dude, what was that? Like, what student section chants? And he said, after last season, as bad as last season was, he asked every player on the team to write down the names of the guys you believe had to stay in the program for this to turn around this year. And the only three names that were on every sheet of paper were Preston Reedinger, Marcus Hall, and Brady Fitzgerald, a redshirt freshman. That is wild. The guy just gets it. He is the Green Bay way, Doug said. That's what it says in the Dick Bennett gym. The Green Bay way. Brady Fitzgerald is the Green Bay way. Over the top excited for those guys. 4 games left. And shout out to our friends Katie and Jeff from Luxembourg.
Yeah.
I sat with them and talked the whole game. It was a blast.
That's awesome.
I kind of feel bad, right? Because Doug sets aside tickets. And he texted me yesterday and he's like, tickets? To which I said, 2, please. And late in the day, as my 15-year-old likes to do, he calls me and goes, Dad, can I bring a friend to the game tonight? And I'm like, that would have been nice to know earlier.
Yeah,
But
so
sure.
Oh.
So they used my tickets. I walked in with my press pass.
Oh, okay.
And there happened to be an open chair. I'll leave you with this in the whole press pass thing before somebody comes at me like, oh, what type of press person sits in the stands? I pride myself on being a member of the media that is 100% partial. The whole idea of media having to be impartial is cute. That's rich. For me, and maybe for Josh, we're fans. I'm a fan. I put that press pass in my pocket. I sit and cheer for UW Green Bay, and then I pull out the press pass and walk into the presser area and ask questions so that we can be fans about this team on this show.
I mean, I'm with you. I don't even, most cases I don't even have a press pass. I'm buying tickets just like the rest of you. And that's the way I feel most comfortable. I've been in press boxes. I've stood with the media. Nah, I'm better fit with the fans.
The Nicolay Law fan talk and text line, 414-677-1250. We'll get to some of your reaction from the Let's Play catch-up portion of the show as we get to the I Have Questions portion of the morning. Would we support other sports like the NFL if the Super Bowl was only every 4 years, like the Olympics is only every 4 years? Would we care as much? I'd like to think so, but that's the question. We'll get to that next. We're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Good morning. Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, processing what was yesterday in sports here in Wisconsin and asking questions. A real quick correct on my end. I read the schedule wrong for basketball in the Badger category earlier. They are versus Michigan State, 7 o'clock at the Kohl Center tonight on Fox. All right, I have questions.
When things just don't add up, Trevor and Josh ask the hard questions or just point out how messed up stuff is.
I only have one question.
Can you fly this plane and land it?
Surely you can't be serious.
Do you view this season as a failure?
You asked me the same question last year.
What's the most important question the Badgers have to answer Saturday?
This is a great question. Oh my God, this is a great question.
It's time for I Have Questions on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
The Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text Line, 414-677-1250. Many questions on the Talk and Text Line this morning coming from you if you have questions. Random ones on a Friday. If you have questions about how to get Valentine's Day right in your relationship, oh, do we have answers for you?
We sure do.
Go ahead and ask him now if you'd like. And later in the show, in case you missed it, UWGB head coach Doug Gottlieb, who joins us every Wednesday, had so much amazing advice for all of us in regard to how to not fall victim to the trap that is oh, no, we're good. Everything's good. We don't need to do anything for Valentine's Day. It's a trap.
It's a trap.
We're going to play back his advice later in the show and share with you some of our Valentine's Day wishes as well. But first, would we watch other sports like football, baseball, hockey, etc., if their championship, if their big game was only 4 years and then the next 4 years and then the next 4 years? Would we pay attention to the NFL the way we do now if the Super Bowl was every 4 years, Josh?
It's a great point. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I love this question, and shout out to the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text Line because it was the inspiration for it from our conversation when we talked about Rami's feelings on the Olympics and that, you're not watching ice skating every year. It's not like they stop ice skating. They keep doing competitions. It's not the Olympics. And it had us ask, okay, so what about if just like they have the Summer Olympics, Winter Olympics, if they had the World Series every 4 years, and it went 2 years, and then the next 2 years it was the Super Bowl, and then the next 2 years it was the World Series. I can't even, my brain won't even allow me to picture it. That's the thing. Like, I'm so trained to be able to have to enjoy and have the opportunity to enjoy those major sports every year. And they've become essentially really a 24/7 sport. Even when they're not playing, things are happening. Now the news is happening. Then there's training camps, and there's spring training. So it's not even just the season. I don't think that the Super Bowl would mean anywhere near as much if it only happened once every 4 years.
So do the Olympics then carry more weight if it happened every year, or because this only happens every 4 years, is that where we actually get excited about it?
I know. It's a great question. I honestly, I don't know. I want to tell myself that the fact that it happens every 4 years is what makes it carry the weight, but then that goes against the fact that I don't think that the Super Bowl would, because what would be the point to NFL seasons if you didn't have the Super Bowl? And if we didn't have football in general, if we only had football in general once every 4 years in the NFL, not even the Super Bowl, I'm just saying like the season, right? Like, that would be insane. We'd be finding other things to do with our time. I don't think we would care as much about the NFL because we would be like, I had to find something else to do for those last 2 years when you guys were all training and playing really hard, but I wasn't watching, right? I don't think it would hold the same weight. So for that reason, I think that it's just something specific about the Olympics that goes against those major sports that we watch.
414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text Line. Lots of questions coming in this morning, including, what do you guys think of Giannis's new candy line? Do you have a sweet tooth? Are you going to try Giannis's gummies? That's from Annie in Oconomowoc.
Yeah, you see this?
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, freak gummies.
You in?
Yeah, well, obviously.
Of course you're in.
Yeah. I mean, candy.
You're a shareholder.
Check.
You're a shareholder.
Yeah, right. I'll take 24 boxes, please. No, it's just cool. It's funny, though. A lot of people are pointing out that's like, oh, I'm starting to see Giannis do a lot more endorsements, and he's in a lot more commercials for a lot of things. I'm going, I feel like he's always been.
Almost like he's getting ready for the big market, maybe?
But he's always been. He was doing like Google Pixel phone commercials for a while. He was. It's if I haven't seen Giannis shy away from an endorsement. Is my point. He always seems to be like, oh yeah, okay, let's do this. This will be fun. Yeah, I'll be a part of this commercial. I'll be a part of this. He was in a Kohl's commercial. Remember that over around like the holidays, right before Black Friday. Giannis was in a Kohl's commercial. It was. So anyone who says that, I'm like, yeah, I think that's Giannis. And Giannis will be a part of any TV commercial, it seems. But it's cool that he said, like, you know, specifically he's always wanted like those fruit gummies. Whole family eats them. And then this Canadian company was like, hey, let's work together. Let's do something.
That's a drop. That's a drop. You just said this Canadian company was like, hey. You didn't even catch it.
I didn't
this
catch
Canadian company was like, hey.
They probably were. They probably were. Candy Funhouse is the name of it. That's the name of the company where you can go, and that'll be the website if you want to get the Greek freak gummies. Hey, I want to know, before we keep going here, I want to know your opinion on our question about the Super Bowl. Because you live in Green Bay, you live in Titletown. I'm sorry, you live in Des Peres, but you're very close to Green Bay. So, what would your feelings be if the Super Bowl was once every 4 years? Would it mean more? Would it mean less? Where is your head at?
I think it would mean a lot less. There has to be some finality to it. And if there is a regular sporting event that has no finality to it, specifically like the NFL and the Super Bowl, I don't think it's anywhere near where it is. Unlike the Olympics, the idea of the amount of money that is spent single-handedly in something like the NFL is what makes it different. If the Olympics had that much money tied to them, let me put it this way, if the broadcast companies could make just as much money off of the Olympics on an annual basis as they do the other major sports, the NFL, the MLB, the NHL, then we would have the Olympics every year. Don't let yourself be fooled that this is stuck on every 4 years. If the Olympic Committee and the Olympic broadcast system figured out how to monetize the Olympics the way the NFL has figured out how to monetize it, we wouldn't be having this conversation. It would be every single year, no matter what.
Yeah, I'm with you. What about this? This is another hypothetical I'm gonna throw in, because I thought about this when you were saying that the Olympics also isn't just one sport the way that football is. So what about if like you had football, baseball, and basketball that happened, or let's say you had football and hockey that happened every 4 years, and then you had baseball and basketball, for example, that happened every 4 years as like a summer and winter, to where it wasn't just the one sport. So like they both happened at the same time, but the same way that you would look forward to like swimming and track and field, you're looking forward to, you know, bobsled and ice skating. Does that change any of it if it was you had multiple sports all being played at one time?
I don't think so, because we've been trained.
Right.
So the main sports is something that is a part of our life. When bobsledding and the luge comes up, or yesterday I was sitting at lunch at my favorite dive bar, Max Pub and Grill, and the snowboarding was on, the half pipe.
Mm-hmm.
This is the you can watch us on YouTube and Twitter, by the way.
Yeah.
This is the official half pipe signal.
Correct.
That's a half pipe. People were wiping out left and right. And I was like, this is awesome. I don't really care other than that. So
yeah.
we've been
it's just
trained.
the sports. It's the sports for you. It really does come down to the sports. And this is why I want to, as much as it was fun to say that, yeah, listen, Rami just doesn't like America. I truly do believe that the reason why we care about the Olympics is because it's an international competition. We're not watching snowboarding. If we are, I feel like we're watching the same way that the casual fan watches NASCAR. You watch the races, and when they say, "Oh, there's a crash," you go, "Ooh, what's that?"
Yeah.
Oh, look at that pile up. It's the same thing.
414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text Line. A few more questions here before we break and come back with the most electrifying sound of the day. Jeff in Fox Point says, what Brewer player will be the most important statistically this season and why? That's an easy one for me. Joey Ortiz. If Joey Ortiz finds his bat and continues to do what he's been doing at the shortstop position, look out. I believe we are one bat away from being insane with this lineup because we haven't been able to depend on the bottom of the order to be much, specifically Joey Ortiz's spot. But so many times it felt like in last season, Ortiz came up with either runners in scoring position or less than 2 outs, and there was threats, and it just died with him in the box.
That's a difficult question for me because I don't know that it's necessarily one specific person, but it needs to be someone. We were talking the other day off air, Trevor, you and I, about Yelich in 2018, and you brought up, how he hit 326. Okay, well, I mean, there aren't batters that do that anymore, but I mean, looking just in general, we need to see someone. I'm not expecting Yelich to be able to. Yelich had a great year at the plate last year. I mean, I'd love to see Terang be that guy. I'd love to see, take your pick, but having someone be the one to dramatically increase their production at the plate could make a huge difference. Who it is doesn't really matter. I think if I had to pick someone, I'd probably go Terang, though. I don't think that I'm set on Ortiz. I'm already kind of in the thanks for your time, Joey. We got a bag of prospects here, and one of them's coming up.
414-677-1250, Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text Line. One more. There are actually multiple texts of people going, how about those Green Bay Phoenix? And then somebody asked, how are the Phoenix haters this morning? Meaning, we've talked on this show before why we talk about UWGB as much as we do. I'm here in Green Bay. Josh is in Milwaukee. And somebody said earlier, can we quit with the GB talk? Paraphrasing. What's funny about that is that text is surrounded by text messages to the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text Line saying, let's go UWGB, or GB was intense last night. For all those GB haters, I hope you were watching. Or my question is, are all the UWGB haters sad this morning? I love that. I love that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand, and I never have really understood the separation in the state of not wanting everyone to win. I've never understood the UW-Wisconsin to Marquette hate. I've never understood the hate for the Horizon League teams. It's all Wisconsin. I want to see every Wisconsin school do well. And yes, obviously, we have Doug Gottlieb on, and Trevor lives in DePere. So there's more conversation that takes place about that. But also, it's because they're winning. Winning fixes everything. I promise you, if this show existed last year, we would not be talking about UWGB as much as we are. We would be talking about them, but not as much.
I was going to say, definitely not as positively as we are.
No, well, people don't want to hear, yeah, this team continues to lose. It's just not, it's not the way it is. I promise you, if the Bucks were in first or second place in the East, we'd be talking a lot more about the Bucks. People like winning. UWGB is winning right now, and that's a great story. Enjoy it, Wisconsin. Enjoy it.
When we come back, it'll be the most electrifying sound of the day. We're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
It's time for
The most electrifying
sound of the day
The most electrifying
on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Brought to you by Best Electric. Learn more at bestelect.com. Don't stress. Connect with the best.
Yeah, there's reasons why these applause are happening, Grady.
Nikola Topic battled testicular cancer. Just one preseason game into the season, had surgery, underwent chemo, and he's making his NBA debut tonight. Standing ovation here at Paycom Center. What a moment.
Topic got 2 games with the Oklahoma City Blue, just 5-minute stints.
How about an assist? Let's go.
And that call from NBA on Prime Video of Nikolai Topic and his story is our most electrifying sound of the day, brought to you by our friends at Best Electric. Remember, no job is too big or too small for Best Electric. Don't stress. Connect with the best. Call them today or visit bestelect.com. Just so happens that this amazing story is in the NBA and in life is happening in a game against the Milwaukee Bucks. So keeping it still attached to Inside Wisconsin. But Nikolai Topic was a draft pick, 12th pick in 2024. And as you heard him say there, had testicular cancer, went through chemo, all these other things, made his NBA debut in that game last night. And it's just so cool. Like, I mean, obviously, I have a bowling event that benefits kids that are going through cancer, but anyone that has to make that decision and have to figure out the way that they want to fight for their lives, literally, is so incredible to see when they do it, when they succeed. And I don't care if you're an athlete or otherwise. And that was incredible to see, and good for him, and good for all of us. I love that.
Up next in the morning mind dump, I have a question and need some parenting advice when it comes to youth sports. I'm not going to ruin it now, but I want you to join us just after 7 o'clock. Josh and I really think that a lot of you, if you're parents and have kids in youth sports, will have a take on this. And I'm legit asking for advice. Josh and I talked about this yesterday. Mm-hmm. When we come back, I'll have a question in regard to youth sports, which is an insanely hot topic. So I'm hoping this doesn't go completely sideways. We're playing with gas a little bit, and there's a fire nearby. So hopefully the people listening can understand the situation and not think that I have a complaint, because I don't. I'm just asking for advice when it comes to a parenting situation with youth sports. Teaser.
It's a good conversation. And I'll tell you this, that even though I'm not a parent that is in the same place, I think that all of us can have an opinion on this, and that we can all kind of feel for what Trevor's dilemma that he's going through.
And here's the problem. It has to do with playing time. And yet it has nothing to do with playing time.
Yeah.
How about that? That makes zero sense, Trev. Yeah, I know.
That's really good if you know the topic. That was what I will say. If you know what the topic is.
414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line. Stick with us through this break. When we come back, the Morning Mind Dump, completely dedicated to a question revolving youth sports. Plus, at 7:25, we're going to replay Doug Gottlieb's Valentine's Day advice from our chat with him on Wednesday. Somebody texted in earlier, Josh, well, isn't Doug divorced? Should we follow his advice? He talked about that. Just hang tight. You'll see. And then a top 5 Friday list of the top 5 Valentines from Josh and I to and or from our coworkers.
Yep.
You're going to want to hear this.
It'll be good.
We're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Stick around. The topic, youth sports. It's a doozy. Stay here. I am an eternal optimist. So please, God, don't tell me that you're an eternal pessimist.
I like to say I'm a realist.
Oh, it's great. We're going to go along great. This is going to be great.
This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
Power. He's got tremendous power to right center as well.
And he pulls this one deep to left center, way back, and gone! The Brewers strike first in Game 5.
That game ended well.
Sure did.
That series ended well. William Contreras signs a new deal with the Brewers, and based on the option for 2027, hopefully we can say we have him for a couple more years. That audio courtesy of the NLDS on TNT. William Contreras with a home run to take a lead against the Cubs, and if memory serves me right, we never gave it back.
No, we didn't.
What's up, Wisconsin? Welcome inside Wisconsin Sports. Trevor Thomas, Josh Albrecht.
Hi.
Live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Live on YouTube and Twitter at WI Sports Radio, and live on the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line, 414-677-1250. I need your advice when it comes to parenting a child in youth sports and playing time. Only this has nothing to do with playing time. Time for the Morning Mind Dump.
I have voices in my head, they counsel me, they understand, they talk to me.
The coffee has kicked in. We're awake and ready to roll. Let's get some things off our chest and out of our heads.
You don't know what it's like to be me out here for you. It is an up at dawn, pride-swallowing siege that I will never fully tell you about, okay?
I'm as bad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore!
I'm in a glass case of emotion.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
We got no food, we got no jobs, our pets' heads are falling off!
It's time for the Morning Mind Dump on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
414-677-1250. That's the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line. Personally, for personal and totally, what do you call it when you want something for yourself and don't care what, selfish? For completely selfish reasons. I want more participation with this topic today than frankly ever before. I'm going to do my best to get through this story, and then I want your guys' advice. So let me jump in. I've mentioned on this show a number of different times that my youngest son, Riker, he's 14, is not a sports guy. It's why Josh and I chose all of these different WWE references. It's why I care about the WWE. Josh has been a fan of that for a long time. I wasn't until Riker was, and I found something to bond with him on. He's in 8th grade. He's been going to a Lutheran school here in Green Bay since pre-K, like 3K, I think. He's not a sports guy, and yet my wife and I find a lot of value in sports to help teach kids what it feels like and means to be a member of a team. And so did we force him to play basketball? Yeah, we did. Him not playing basketball wasn't an option because it was really the only team sport that we knew he would have interest in once he practiced and got better and saw that his friends were there and so on. I understand what that sounds like. We didn't force him. I didn't drag him down a set of stairs to play basketball. It was a conversation. Hey, bud, Mom and I really want you to play a team sport. We have to offer cross country, soccer, basketball. I think that's it at our school.
Okay.
I'm tall. You're going to be tall. Maybe basketball might be a good choice. And each year when it came to basketball season, he fought us for years. And then that changed last year. And he was really excited to play. And then this year, he was even more excited to play. And his coordination finally caught up. And he could dribble. And he could run. And he could all of the things for youth sports, right? But he's nowhere near the best player on the court. We know that. He knows that. He wears the craziest dumb socks when he plays. He's not a game-changing player. We joke that he has an allergy to the basketball because if it's in his hands, he cannot get it out of his hands fast enough, and that has nothing to do with scoring. He just wants to – he's an assist machine because he's not he's not the best player, not even close, and he knows that. His last game at home was just the other night, all right? Riker has not ever shared anything that looks, feels, or smells like passion for sports. There is a 7th grader on the team that is by far the best player on the team. He's unbelievable. I think the kid shoots 1,000 times a day. I'm not even kidding. He's unreal. There are 6th, 8th graders on this team. 5 of them are very close. One of them's my son. Riker didn't start with his 4 other buddies in his last game at St. Mark. As a dad of a son who does not care about sports, I looked at that situation and go, I totally get it. Would I have liked to see him start his last game? Yes. Is that completely selfish and biased? Yes. I also coached this team when my older son was in it for 5 straight years. And it was never about winning to me. It was always about what's right for the kids. Now, did I want to win for the kids? Absolutely. But in the last game at home, I didn't care who the best players were. I started the 5 8th graders that were the closest that had been friends since 4th grade. And Riker, after the game the other night, comes up to my wife and I and was crushed that he didn't get to start his last game with his friends. And I went, uh-oh.
Yeah.
This has nothing to do with playing time. This has nothing to do with the decision to start the best kid on the team. That all makes sense to me. What I don't know what to do, ironically, at the end of his basketball playing career is how to dad that. How do I dad that when I'm the one that, for lack of better terms, forced him to play, and now he came off the court of his last home game ever, crushed that he didn't start, which means, Josh, it worked. He saw the value in team. He saw the value in friendship. He learned all of the things that we were hoping he was going to learn. And he was crushed that he didn't get to start with his friends. And he knows he's not a starter. I mean, he started maybe twice this year. Kids were out sick or something like that. He knows he's not the best player, but we never told him it was about basketball. We told him it was about team and learning how to support each other and doing the right thing. And you know what? Sitting the bench when there are better players in there to win the game. And they're 8th graders. And now, here we have a kid that's crushed, that doesn't like sports. And I'm going, oh, man. Now, I did my best. I was disappointed for him, but I wasn't disappointed about playing time. And I wasn't even disappointed that he didn't start. I'm disappointed that I don't quite know how to dad this. How do I tell my kid that it's not about playing time, and you're right, you should be sad that you didn't start?
Yeah, it's extremely difficult, and especially because I feel like the first instinct is to want to defend your kid and go up to the coach and be like, would it really have been that hard? I would never
do that.
But that's the thing, is that even if you wanted to, that's not the issue, right? That's in the past. You can't go back. You can't change that. Right. The question that you're up against is in the present of right now, of what do you do for your kid that is sad for these reasons? So what did you do? What did you end up doing?
Empathy. That was it. I just was like, yeah, man, I totally understand where you're coming from on this. It is a sad deal. I'm sorry that you're sad about it. And I think we all understand why. And Riker had no opinion. He's a kid. I would expect a 14-year-old boy to have an opinion on that, but I didn't expect him to show passion about the sport.
Yeah.
And so that was what got me. And so I'm curious, Wisconsin, do you guys have situations like this? We as parents all go through something like this in regard to our kids' playing time, even though this doesn't have anything to do with playing time. But it's kind of like starting seniors on senior night. Somebody literally just texted that in at the exact same time we were saying that. And so what does that look like? Because that's the right thing to do, but it's not the required thing to do. And is it only the right thing to do because he's sad about it? What if he wasn't sad about it? Would I feel this way? Would I not? Like, what if he didn't notice? But I kind of feel responsible for that. So that's what I did. I just was like, hey man, I'm sad that you're sad. This sucks. I know you would have loved to start with your friends, and it wasn't wrong that the best player on the team started in a game against a rival, of course, who is very athletic, and we wanted to win because it had to do with seeding in the end of year tournament. So as a coach, I totally understood, even though I personally wouldn't have chosen to do that. And by the way, pause, I love the coaches. They're fantastic men. And I don't knock them. This isn't a complaint to them. It's just an opportunity for me to go, damn it. How do I help my son see both sides of this? Nicolay Law fan talking text line, 414-677-1250. Josh, what are we seeing here? I've been staring into the camera.
Yeah. There's a lot of different stuff coming in. You already pointed out the one from one of the people in the 920 here that said he should have at least started last home game for 8th graders. That is like not starting seniors on senior night in high school, inexcusable. Then another one in the 920 said if he wants more playing time, he needs to put in the effort and become a starter. If you love the sport, you will put in the time to improve.
Absolutely.
Okay. But I'm going to stop there. So again, like this is 8th grade, right? So like you got to look at the age a little bit. I'm not saying that the decision the coach made was wrong. And I don't really know how much of the debate or the topic we're going for here is really about, did the coach make the right decision? I will say one thing, though, that I think it would have been nice, and maybe the coach had a lot of other things going on. He's trying to prep the game and everything else, but maybe to just approach him. If he knew he wasn't going to start him, give him the heads up, be like, sit him down, be like, listen, like, kind of talk him through it beforehand and maybe see his reaction. Maybe the coach didn't know that Riker was going to react that way, to where it wouldn't have been as big of a deal. He could have had him come in and then, taken him out a few minutes later, but didn't know. So that would have been the only thing. Like I said earlier, though, that's all in the past. You can't, it's about how you handle it as a parent in those situations. That's the tougher question.
And to the 920's point about putting in more time and getting better, he knows that. And he did that. And it was awesome to watch him grow. And he also knows he's not starter worthy. Yet this one wasn't about being worthy of being a starter. It was his last game at home as an 8th grader. And again, I had no expectations, even though as a dad, I would have loved to see it. But I know he's not the best player. He knows he's not the best player. And so to Josh's point, 8th grade kids, this timeline, ultimately, how do you choose on that moment, I guess? I'm grateful for all the feedback. Who's on the phone, Josh?
This is Seth from Green Bay.
Seth, thanks for the buzz, man. Help me parent through this.
So I'm a son of a parent that was a high school basketball coach. And this was my perspective that I experienced through high school myself. He coached junior high. I was one of the better players on the team, 7th, 8th grade. And as I went into JV and varsity, that started to trickle down. And he never once stepped in and put perspective to the coach saying, my son needs to play, my son needs to play. I did not put in the effort in the off season, and people got better than me. They were in better shape than me, and they were just better basketball players than me. I have a great basketball mind. Physically could not compete with the guys that were at that higher level. And my dad never once stepped in to say my son needs to play, because he knew that for the betterment of the team, my son should not get that much playing time. And I understood that. I was what you call a 30-30 player, 30 points up, 30 points down, or 30 seconds left in the game. That's the only time I touched the floor.
Yeah.
And I understood that. I wanted my team to win. Junior year, we went 0-21. The next year, we won our district championship up in the UP of Michigan and went on to the regionals, and unfortunately lost. I didn't play much. Side note, I broke my leg on the bench during a basketball game my senior year too. So that's, kind of goes down in my high school lore.
Wow. What if it wasn't about playing time, though? What about this moment where it's really not about him playing more? Because it wasn't, but it was about an 8th grader potentially starting his last game at home with his buddies. And yet he would know he's not the best player. He put in the time, but he knows he's not the best player. And yet he was sad that he didn't get that opportunity. And what that told me was he actually gets it. He gets the idea of being on a team and caring about his teammates.
I would say from an 8th grade perspective, I know down here it's a lot more competitive. I played at a very small high school up in the UP, so there wasn't a lot of there weren't that many teams. There weren't that many kids actually out trying to play basketball, so everybody kind of got an opportunity to play, and that's kind of how my dad still coaches into his 70s. He's been doing it for 30 years, and he still lets kids that aren't quite at that level. But I understand down here it's much more competitive, and I think that as long as you tell these kids at a young age, work as hard as you can, but also understand that sometimes people are just going to be better than you.
Mm-hmm.
There to support, be there to be a team member, do whatever you can. And don't think just because you're out there on the team that you're going to get playing time. You got to work really hard. But when it comes to working really hard, there still may be people better than you. So it's a hard lesson to learn. I had to learn it the hard way too, but it's a great lesson to learn too, because it's for the betterment of the team.
I love it, man. Thanks for the buzz. I really appreciate that. That's a great point. In regard to, yes, it is for the betterment of the team, even though there was an opportunity where it didn't have to be about winning per se, but it's not wrong that it was.
Right.
That's a really good point.
A lot of people on the Nicolay Law fan talking text line chiming in here, bringing up, and I think this is a good point too, of just, it's a tough spot, but it's a good life lesson, of you might not have cared about the sport itself, but you cared about being out there with your friends and how you felt being the only one that wasn't. There are going to be a lot of situations in life where you're going to want something, and you need to be ahead of the curve as much as you can and working as hard as you can to help yourself, and then realize that even then sometimes you still might not have things pan out the way you want. It's a tough spot, but it could still very much be a learning situation for him as well.
The 262 says, did dad and or older brother build up the last game because of how it went prior with all 5 friends and teammates starting? No, and I would own that if I did. We didn't talk about it at all, like literally at all. I did not set any expectation for this very reason. And I know his older brother didn't either, because he wasn't around for him to talk to him about it. So yeah, this was just on him. And I think that was the hardest part about it, was he came to this realization on his own. But I love the idea of taking this the life lesson route. It's good. It's good, because that was the whole point of him playing a team sport, was to understand what it means to be a part of a team. And yes, you not getting your number called in a moment when it didn't have to be about winning or losing, and could have been more about camaraderie, friendship at the 8th grade level. But because the decision was made doesn't make it wrong. It just means that it is what it is. This is great. I'm really grateful for all you guys. Not so grateful, and I'm just going to say this. Josh and I try very hard to make sure that this show is about sports and sporting life. Now listen, I spend zero time worrying about people that come at us via text. It's every day. We have thick skin, and we've allowed ourselves to block people that come at us personally. If you talk about our families or our personal situation in a negative light to the point where I never want to see that again, or Josh never wants to see that again, we block you. It's that simple. And maybe you're listening right now and we haven't read a text message of yours in weeks or months. It's because you got personal. And when we share personal things like this and people give personal feedback, it's great. Telling us in this moment that this personal story has nothing to do with sports, you're complete BS.
You're not paying attention.
It has everything to do with sports. And because we can tie sports to all of our life lessons at any level, as fans of our favorite teams, as parents of our favorite players, as coaches of everybody else's kids, and sometimes down to referees or just fans that don't have skin in the game. This has everything to do with sports. And that's why we love so many people chiming in and giving the whole feedback piece to, yeah, man, that's tough. And life lessons. And this is sports. Josh, anything else to wrap up the combo?
I mean, there are so many good, amazing texts coming in, and I think it is really good. I want to say even if you are one of those people out there that you're like, well, listen, I don't have kids, or I'm not in the exact situation that Trevor's in. Yeah, neither am I. Like, I don't know how many people are aware, but my firstborn, Jordy, is not. He doesn't play sports. We've tried forcing him to do it. He's miserable. He likes to swim, but he doesn't have that competitive drive for it. And when we push it, he gets discouraged. He is also the best kid in the whole world. He's the most caring big brother. He is everything I would want in a son. And it's been really hard as someone who literally talks sports for a living to have a kid who could not care less about sports in any way, shape, or form. And so there's just something about this is sports. This is also being a parent. It's being a dad and having to figure out the right ways to handle these type of situations. Today it's about Trevor trying to figure out how do you comfort your kid who is in this situation. It could have been me saying, what do you do when you want your kid to play a sport and they won't? This is what it's all about, is having these type of conversations. And so I appreciate everyone that's shared their stories and talked about this and given good feedback and good advice. I don't think, Trevor, there is necessarily a right answer, because you're the one that knows Riker. There's every kid is going to have a different reaction and be in a different situation. There's some parents that are going to say, well, kiddo, this is why you need to try harder. That might not be the right answer for Riker. It all depends. But either way, I do feel for you, because it's a tough situation.
Well, it's a good point, too, that every kid is different. The one that likes sports went to the UW Green Bay game with me last night, brought a buddy, got in the Jeep afterwards to head home, farted. The Jeep stunk to high heaven, and they blamed each other for it and giggled for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it could be that, or a kid that, noticed an opportunity in sports and he really doesn't have the passion. I love it, brother. All right, when we come back, it's about love. And who better to get love advice from than Coach Doug Gottlieb? We'll play that next, plus a Top 5 Friday. Our Top 5 Valentine's wishes from us to our coworkers here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, or from them to us. We made some crap up. It's going to be funny, hopefully.
We'll see.
Stick with us. The Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. It's inside Wisconsin sports. We promise. Trevor and Josh. Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Which of the Packers' pending free agents should they bring back for the 2026 season? Find out this morning on 9 to noon with former Packers fullback John Kuhn and Rami Makloff here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Wednesday mornings, we chat with UW Green Bay head men's basketball coach Doug Gottlieb. He's a recognizable fella for a lot of different things and 100% committed now, stepping away from his full-time radio gig to focus on his other full-time job at UW Green Bay. When we talk with him, it's usually one segment, and it's usually quite long.
Yes.
And the feedback has been astronomical. His segment, whether we talk about sports or life or sporting life or whatever the case may be, is one of the most well-received segments on this entire radio network. And we love that. So thank you for that feedback. On Wednesday, we offered him a Would You Rather Wednesday. Would you rather get one more question from us or stick around for a second segment? And he said, I'll stick around because we got to talk about Valentine's Day yet.
Yep. The Love Doctor.
The Love Doctor is in. Here is that segment with Coach Doug Gottlieb. Doug Gottlieb joining us for another segment because, frankly, at this point, we can't get it all in one segment. Maybe this will stick. We'll see. DG, you had a lot of love advice for us that we teased last week. So
I didn't have a lot of love
Yeah, you
advice.
did.
I just again, don't take the bait of, babe, I don't want anything for Valentine's Day. You know, the flowers are so overpriced. Just don't like, no, just think of yourself like I'm Jewish, like a Jewish grandma. When you say, Grandma, I'm full, I can't have any more food. Boom, whole plate of food, right? They say they don't want roses. And now, if you really want to do it right, obviously, if you have kids, you got to take care of your daughters, with some sort of treat note. Mother-in-law or potential mother-in-law, also like a note is a class one. But they love cards. It's a big thing. I mean, Trevor knows this, right? I mean, he's going to write War and Peace to his wife. That's
it's true. He's got half an hour.
He's like, I get it. He's
got half a book so far. He's not done yet.
I get it. But now the dinner thing that's a boondoggle, right? Yeah, every restaurant's already booked up and whatever. I don't think dinner is as important as when they open their eyes that morning that there's card, probably some candy, some sort of floral something.
So what are your feelings on the, hey, we've been married for a while, I don't spend a bunch of money on the candy and flowers when it's overpriced on Valentine's Day. It's 70% off the next day. You can get me more candy the next day. Just
Josh,
give it to me on
I thought
the 15th.
I thought I'm the only Jewish one on this show. I thought that's
you are.
My buddy Adam Klug, my old producer. That's what he does. He has actual working agreement with his wife. Hey, babe, I'm going to get you the most beautiful floral arrangement on February 15th of every year. And it worked for them. But unless you have that agreement in hand, signed, blood oath, don't do it.
My wife personally, my wife prefers the candy over the flowers. And she will, if I give her the candy on Valentine's Day, she will be appreciative, but then it will be gone. And she will be like, so you could have probably afforded to get more candy if I would have just waited one day. And I'm like, yeah, okay.
Well, you can get her the candy the second day, but if she eats the candy the first day, then you've won. You're good. It's when they sit there and they look at it and they're like,
do you ever really win, Doug? I don't know that I've.
No, you never win.
I've been married for over a decade. Yeah,
you get to somehow sleep in the same bed.
It's a tough schedule. It's a tough schedule I play. I don't know that I come away with many wins.
Oh, I can't see. My eyes are all watery. Oh my God, is that funny?
I can't believe he goes, if I wait one more day, like literally my boy Adam Klug, I'm gonna show this to him.
It's a thing.
He's like, that's my bit.
That's my move. Everyone's got their move. Listen, I always think that the cards, the flowers, the candy, I feel like more and more I've heard from women over the years that have said it's, don't you spend money all on that on one day, but then the rest of the year you don't, it's almost like a cop out. They don't want that now. It's, you got to do something else. You got to get more creative. You got to try to figure something else out. It's the game's changing, Doug. The game's changing out here.
It's a lot. It's a lot like college athletics, right? Back in the day, college athletics, right?
Yep.
Like universities had upper hand. If you wanted your release, you had to come in and ask your coach for his release. Couldn't transfer in conference, all these other things. Okay. Nowadays, right, the players have a lot more control, a lot more power. It's the same thing. Like my dad, I never saw my dad make a meal in his life, right? Ever.
Yeah.
My dad come home, he'd be like, I'm really hungry. And then just sit down. And then there was food there. You're like,
yeah.
That's amazing. Like, is there an app you're pressing? I don't know.
I'm playing.
Right?
We're playing.
I was married for 20 years. That never happened once.
Yeah. We're playing in the nil
I
era
lived in
with no
Westport,
nil
Connecticut.
money.
I'd take the train in. I'd bust my ass just to get back just in time for the kid get there for like 30 minutes for the kids to get to bed. Right. I had to get them all riled up. We'd get them to bed. I'd walk downstairs, starved. And there's nothing.
Nothing.
So,
okay.
The days are changing. Wow. Days are changing.
Yep.
We have no control over anything.
No.
So again, if they say they want nothing, you better get them something. Definitely a card when they wake up that morning. Probably a coffee, Starbucks, whatever they do. Okay. And then the rest of the day there has to be little nuggets of thought. Doesn't have to be expense, but thought. And then again, I would recommend if you have daughters, mother-in-law, potential mother-in-law, just a note or a text or whatever, just all the different things. It's a lot like Mother's Day, right? Make sure you hit all the connecting dots.
Next time you're on, Doug, we're going to do a little rapid fire because a lot of people have questions in here about their love life that I guess we have to ask you.
Go. We got time.
We can't. We don't have time.
Come on. Just come on. Go.
Can you rapid fire anything though?
Yeah, but you're filibustering the rapid fire.
Oh, am I? Or is this?
Yeah.
This is the best.
Okay. That's what this just said. This segment's the best ever. Jeremy from Racine wants to know, can you come down and scout his 7th grader, please?
No.
That's good.
That's rapid fire. Okay, stop. Next question. What do you think about something engraved for your girlfriend / wife? Apparently that means a lot.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I wouldn't go tattoo unless it's wife tattoo, but engraved is fine. It does show a lot of thought and preparation. Okay.
Last one. Would you make breakfast in bed?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So there you go. There's some love advice.
Wow.
Take it.
That's
leave it.
Just as funny.
All right. I want to know really quick because, she's not listening. What's your plan? Valentine's Day. What are you going to do?
Oh, she's listening. I can't tell you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, can't. No, we're doing cards, remember? Cards only.
Yep. Just cards.
That's what you're told.
Mm-hmm.
It's a trap.
It's a trap.
It's a trap.
Yep.
All right, let's break. When we come back, we wrote some Valentine's Day little cards. We wrote some cards. You know those little Valentines that you used to give each other in elementary school?
Yeah, where you had to you'd hand them out, the little cardboard ones. Yeah.
I wrote one for Rami, for John Kuhn, for Mason, for Tommy, and then I wrote one to Giannis from Josh.
Ooh. I have one from these are all from Tommy, from Sparky, from Rami, from Mitch, and from Trevor.
Oh, goody. 414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and text line. Give us your feedback on our writing skills. Did we hit the mark with our Valentine's Day wishes? I doubt it. Oh, man. Here we go. Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Those studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. We're inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Wisconsin Sports, Trevor and Josh on Valentine's Day Eve. And so Josh and I wrote some Valentine's Day wishes.
Yeah.
Josh wrote from the person.
Yeah, so essentially the idea for this, so we just got done talking about what Trevor's going through with Riker and having a kiddo at that age. Well, Jordy is still of the age to where you're essentially required in school to make a box and bring in Valentines, and you write a name on for every kid on the Valentine, and you hand them out. And I went, ooh, let's do that for the people we work with. And so these are just like the little roses are red, violets are blue. I came up with this idea, so here's one for you.
Okay, so these are from these people. Like you wrote them as if they're writing them to a Valentine's. I wrote mine as if I was going to put the Valentines in their box.
Ooh, okay.
In their box. Yeah?
Yeah.
All right, so let's go every other. You go first.
Okay. So this is mine from Tommy to all of you. When working with Trevor, I won't wake up on time, but for you, I'll be early. Will you be my Valentine? Love, Tommy.
Okay. And I wrote one for Tommy.
Okay.
From me. And it says this: roses are red, you fill in with ease. And for that, we love you. But can we not oversleep? I mean, chimichanga, please.
I love it. I love it. He's never going to live that down.
No, he's still sleeping, actually.
Okay. All right, here's one from Sparky. I used to be angry. Now I'm more mellow. This Valentine's Day, won't you let me be your fellow? Love, Sparky.
Yeah, you took the easy way out on that one.
Yeah, I
He's
did.
Boss. This is my Valentine to Rami. 9 to noon with John Kuhn and Rami Makloff. Roses are red, violets are blue. I hate the Bears, but not you.
Ooh.
Unless you keep this Bears crap up, then you're dead to me.
I'm saving my Rami one because I think it's in the top 2. Because this is still a top 5. This is our top 5 on a top 5 Friday.
Yeah.
All right, so next I'm doing mine from Mitch Thunder Nellis, which of course you can hear on the Mason Crosby Show, noon to 2. If you're gambling today, don't take the under. This year be my Valentine, and I'll bring the thunder. Love, Mitch.
Why did that make me snort? That's weird. Here's mine to Mason. Roses are red. Your leg is great. Hall of Fame worthy, in my opinion. So save the date.
Your leg is great.
Your leg is great.
Oh, that's fantastic. Your leg is great.
Your leg is, well, is that not Valentine's Day like? I mean,
yeah,
your leg is great.
Oh, that's good. All right, here's mine for Rami. I don't cheer for America. I cheer for the Bears. But this Valentine's Day, let me show you I care. Rami.
Well,
Hates
how's
America.
he going to show us?
Loves the Bears.
It doesn't hate America. This is mine to John Kuhn.
Oh, God.
Roses are red. You bleed green and gold. Sometime in the future, maybe a color commentator you might hold.
Ooh.
And if you head to the booth, an analysis you'll be sharing, please, for the love of God, don't scream over Wayne like Larry McCarron.
Wow. That's a long one, and threw shade at Larry McCarron in the Valentine.
Yes! Ah! Here, you try to talk. I'll do my best.
No.
There.
Okay. Lovely.
Last one.
All right. This is from Trevor to all of you out there listening statewide. This is Trevor's Valentine to all of you. I don't like the Bucks because I live in De Pere. But when it comes to my love for you, you have nothing to fear.
Aw. As in like
Love,
fear
Trevor.
the deer. That's great.
There you go.
So, last one.
Yeah.
All the other ones, I have written my messages to them, to Rami, to John Kuhn, to Mason, to Tommy. This message is to Giannis from Josh.
Perfect.
Roses are red and Bucks green from my veins does leak. I'll love you forever. Please never leave me, you beautiful Greek freak.
I would like to get that printed. I would love to give him that Valentine. I would like to, as a 35-year-old man, hand that on a piece of cardboard to another man.
All right, so what are you doing for Valentine's Day?
Oh, I can't tell you.
She's listening too?
Yeah. Yeah, she told me she was going to today. This is the problem with doing the show. If people let us know, you can let us know what you're doing.
Do you tell us something planned?
It's small. It's very small. So I will tell you, because she already knows like the main surprise. So
she does. Well, tell us.
So down here, Steve Martin and Martin Short are performing not this weekend. Actually, in 2 weeks, they're going to be down here, and they're putting on a show at the Miller High Life Theater.
Mm-hmm.
And I personally, I love both of them. It's just comedians, but we love the show Only Murders in the Building. And have you ever seen that show on Hulu?
No.
It's a really good show. It stars both of them, Steve Martin, Martin Short. And if you don't know who they are, then I don't know. You've never watched television.
I know who they are.
And I'm just saying, anyone out there. But so as soon as I saw that they were going to be here, which was announced months and months and months ago, I got tickets. And so that has been the quote unquote Valentine's Day plan for a long time. It just isn't actually on Valentine's weekend.
We're going to actually make steaks at home. I've got some friends that own this thing called MalotMarketplace.com. You can go there and order the best quality steaks delivered right to your door.
Ooh.
And so I did that. And we have insane restaurant, high quality steaks ready to throw on the grill tomorrow night for the entire family. Amanda knows that part. And we're getting cards.
And you're getting cards.
Mm-hmm.
That's the other thing.
Because that's what we were told.
Yeah.
That's what we said. We're only getting cards.
See, you set the guidelines. It's important. It's very important, people. More than, and Doug did mention it, but more than Doug's point of it being a trap, it's important that you're on the same page. Only you and your significant other know what you guys have discussed, what's in the agreement, laid out, signed, notarized, of what the expectations are for holidays like Valentine's Day.
So Rami joins us at the end of the next hour as we cross over with our friends from 9 to noon with John Kuhn and Rami Makloff. And if you missed it the other day, we saved Rami. So I don't want to spoil it.
No, I don't know that we saved him.
I think we saved
We'll
him.
find out on Monday if we saved him. We gave him the advice.
If he doesn't do it, it's on him.
Well, true.
We gave him the saving idea because he was going to punt. Well, my wife's not around on Valentine's Day. I'm like, no.
And where is she going?
Going to her mom's.
Driving out of state to her mom's. You said, put a card in the car.
Yeah, put a card in the car.
There better be flowers at her mom's house when she gets there.
Ooh. Should he get a card for his mother-in-law too?
Yeah, that card is on the flowers.
Oh, the flowers are to the mother-in-law?
To both of them.
Wife when
you say it to both of them because then the mother-in-law.
Do you send one set of flowers for two people though?
Yeah, because she's not going to take the flowers back home. It's the gesture, and then the mother-in-law is like, "Look at these arrived. He's amazing. How lucky are you to have him?" It's a double win. It's a win-win. That's the pro move. That's the pro move. Now, will he do it? I don't think he will, but he should.
Jacob in a van on the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line, 414-677-1250. Jacob says, I got no Valentine this year, so it's just me, the Daytona 500, the couch, and a bunch of cold Miller Lights. Dude,
sounds like a great Valentine's Day. Yeah, 100%.
All right, when we come back, we got to talk Brewers baseball. Contreras signing a deal that's going to keep him here this year and maybe next year if the club chooses to keep him at $14.5 million. Back from Las Vegas with a story or two, we're sure. And spring training is officially underway in Arizona. Thus, we got to talk to the franchise. Tim Allen joins us next here on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. If you got questions for Tim, send them in, 414-677-1250. the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text Line. We're live on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Those studios powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
and I clean up this desk here and put your shit together.
Dennis Bauer to right center as well.
And he pulls this one deep to left center, way back, and gone! The Brewers strike first in Game 5.
William Contreras with the home run in the playoffs, audio courtesy of TNT. And Wild Bill here to stay in Milwaukee with the crew, signing a new deal, avoiding arbitration, and even having one of them club choices attached to it. We'll see if the club so chooses. Trevor Thomas, Josh Albrecht.
Hi.
We are live in the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook inside Wisconsin Sports. Joining us now on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. The man, the myth, the legend, and he's probably tired, just back from Las Vegas, our guy, Tim Allen, the franchise. Timmy, how was Las Vegas, buddy? Thanks for jumping on.
What a beautiful city. So, yeah, get back late Wednesday night, just, oh, man, headaches and body fatigue, and my plumbing is destroyed. And it was, 4 consecutive benders. And then follow that up, band practice last night, and the voice is pretty cooked. So we got to get ready for a show tomorrow. The band is at Brewski's tomorrow. But other than that, everything's good.
So what do you think of Contreras? That was the news that broke yesterday. So much, though, to catch up on. So let's start there and probably work our way backwards, shall we?
Okay, so they avoid arbitration. I'm not a big fan of the arbitration process. I think it's a flaw in baseball. And what it does is you sit down and you have to hammer your own player through negotiations. You have to downgrade your own player in those arbitration hearings to pay him less. And then, of course, the player's going to want as much as he can, and it creates some strife here. And we saw what happened with Corbin Burns in his arbitration hearing, where somebody opened their mouth and said, actually, Corbin Burns was why they didn't make the playoffs or didn't win a playoff series. I can't recall exactly, but he was miffed about that. But they get it done prior to arbitration, and it was a couple $100,000 more than the Brewers had offered, or it was $175,000 more than the middle place. But they got it done at 9.4. It included an option for $14.5 million for the following season for 27. And that I would imagine they're going to try to negotiate a longer term deal, but you have to look at other catchers' deals. So you have to look at Realmuto, and you have to look at Smith, and you have to look at all these catchers. I think he's worth obviously keeping here. I would go that, I don't know, 14 to 15, maybe 16 million a year. And I know for a catcher, that's a lot of money. But here's the rub, guys. I think he gets some advice. And if we had a brother in the same situation that has gone through the free agency path, he's gone through trades, he's gone through negotiations, he's gone through everything with his agent. I think Wilson is a bad influence on William for Milwaukee. Wilson Contreras did not like Milwaukee. And I think that's a notch in the gun belt for William to go somewhere else. I'll predict it that he will not be a Brewer long term. And I would sign him in a heartbeat. The dude, look at his numbers from last year with a broken finger. Right. That's enough said right there. He's a multiple all-star guy. I think he's got a pop to do some really special things as a Major League Baseball player. But it just, my gut tells me that the influence by his brother, this is just me, I don't know anything, I have no source, but my gut tells me it's just a foregone conclusion that he'll pass up an extension offer, and he may already have, guys.
Okay, so because I love this conversation. I don't necessarily love where you're sitting on it, though you might not be wrong. But I love the conversation because what the Brewers did by including that club option is they created the ability for them to kick the can down the road and make this decision in a year. So my question is, if they don't extend him, right, whether it be because they don't want to or because he doesn't want to and he wants to go play somewhere else, do you think then that he makes it through this season and next season, or is he going to be just kind of like Freddie, like he'll play this season and then like they'll sign him to the club option but then trade him?
Probably.
Okay.
Probably, yeah. And I mean, just like you guys, Trevor, Josh, we discussed the Freddie Peralta deal, that it sucks, but that's just the way the Brewers have to function. They just have to do it that way. Now, if you're looking at the can down the road here, guys, the Yelich money is not that far off of being off the books. It's really not. So you could do a crossover. It's interesting. A couple of years ago, they signed Rhys Hoskins $17 a year for 2 years. They have that sort of money. They don't have the Kyle Tucker money, but they have that sort of money, that 15, 16, 17. If they wanted to go that route, I think they're going to offer that route. William Contreras is one hell of a baseball player, guys. I think he's one of the most underrated players in baseball. I'm a huge fan of his. I mean, he hits for average. Look at his on base. His on base is 350 plus almost every single year. Hits in the clutch, draws his walks, handles a pitching staff, is sort of that leader out there. And on top of that, in the few conversations I've had with him, super, super nice guy. Character is all there. But he's a gamer too, and I like that. He just wears the heart on the sleeve out there. I mean, if someone's going to get into the mix, he'll be right into the mix with him. I love William Contreras as a baseball player. I hope they keep him. I would sign him right now. If it were me, I'd go over the top and just get it done now. Buy out. So here's what they could do, and they may have done this. They may have attempted to do this. So he's getting paid $9.5 this year, potentially $14.5 next year. Okay, you would give him a raise this year up from 9. You would give him a raise next year up from 14, then buy out 2 free agency years at 17 a year for all 4 years.
Yeah.
I was told there would be no math.
Sounds good to me. Now I'm going. And we'll never know if that was offered or not. But
it's it's tough to say. I mean, the Brewers are pretty good at keeping that in-house. But I would assume that something like that has occurred. I'm just guessing. But I think it's a safe guess. Who wouldn't want that guy?
Well, but the conversation is not just about it. It's also about who they have waiting in the wings, right? Isn't that also kind of something that the Brewers, especially us knowing how much they appreciate and value their farm system, looking at Burrows as a reason why they might not want to make that offer?
But Josh, we have to see more. Jefferson Caro has been derailed by an injury, and is this an indicator? They signed a couple of veteran catchers here in the last month. Reese McGuire, journeyman guy. Gary Sanchez enters the fray again in Milwaukee. Is that some sort of sign that, I do know this in reading on Caro that, the shoulder has kept him from the arm that he had. It's still not bad, but maybe they need time here for him to grow a little bit. He hasn't played in the majors quite yet. I would assume we'd see him this year. Kid can hit. In terms of throwing, that will have to wait and see how the shoulder mends. But I think the timing, you might be right on the timing, because you do have 2 years to deal with Contreras. If you choose to ride it all the way out, you do have Caro. What happens if Caro just bursts onto the scene and he's dynamite and gets a bunch of Rookie of the Year votes or something? like Isaac
Allen.
Collins and Caleb Durbin. Maybe you move him. No, I'm kidding. But that's your catcher of the future, I would assume, if not Contreras.
Tim Allen joins us on Inside Wisconsin Sports. You mentioned him, Caleb Durbin. I was chatting with my buddy Dave last night before the GB game, and we were talking about how replaceable of a baseball player Caleb Durbin is. Great guy. Totally got it. Milwaukee through and through. Loved the organization. We loved him in the community. And alas, he batted .256. What are your thoughts on the trade?
So I sent out a video or two on this. I love this deal. Guys, I think, and again, everyone's going to need Jericho. It's the splashy, wow, Caleb Durbin, 4th in Rookie of the Year votes. And look at him. He's a little Mighty Might and Mighty Mouse. And, he's got a little clutch DNA in him. And he's a great guy, as you said. But, yeah, Andrew Monasterio, Anthony Siegler, a Comp B pick, and Caleb Durbin for the haul that they got. Guys, that is a celebration. And I know Brewer fans right now that are listening are saying, come on, Tim, Caleb Durbin, what are you going to do at third base? And he was awesome. And guys, just think bigger picture. Just for a second here, a 24-year-old left-handed Quinn Priester. How about that? Who wouldn't want that? At least take a shot at that in Harrison. Drowan, another guy that flies under the radar a little bit. And then you get a utility guy in Hamilton that can he do at least in the ballpark of an Anthony Siegler, Andrew Monasterio, and Caleb Durbin? I was with some guys in Vegas. They're pretty brutal, and they get into me for my love affair with the Brewers. And they say, you're going to hate that trade. When we woke up that morning, my phone was blowing. Everyone's phone's blowing up. They traded Caleb Durbin. You're going to hate this. And then I looked at it, and I loved it. And now this is their words. You moved a bunch of garbage. Now, I wouldn't go that far because I do like Caleb Durbin as a 4th infielder. That would be my role for him. That's where my bar would be set. But my goodness, what you got for those 3 players is amazing. Kyle Harrison was the 14th overall ranked prospect just a matter of a couple of years ago. 14th. Now, can things flame out? Hey, look at Keston Hiura. I mean, things can happen.
Yeah.
But I love the opportunity here. I think that might go down as one of the best trades Arnold has done.
Wow. Okay, well, then answer the question for us that came out of that trade, which is who's on third today?
No, that's the thing. They've got a few options there. It looks like Murph had mentioned that Joey Ortiz is, for the most part, he had said that, a guy plays shortstop for a team all year long. We need to assume that he's the shortstop the following year. That's where he's at. That's where Murph's at. Now, Ortiz, a couple of years ago, played third and did a decent job. He actually did defensively. Now, he's got a hit. We're all aware of that. I wouldn't, despite what Murph said, you never know with these guys. They'll move around these chess pieces all over the road. They'll be swerving all over the. Who knows if you're going to take a platinum glove winner in Bryce Terang? You may move him to short. You may have Jet Williams move over to third. Joey Ortiz may go over to third. Hamilton may be a third. We just don't know at this point. Most of the scribes are saying that this screams another move is coming.
Mm-hmm.
This does set up a Jet Williams being that super utility guy, or he just outright takes Joey Ortiz's job. I mean, that's a possibility too. I'm not a huge fan of Jet Williams at short. Doing a little digging on that. His accuracy from shortstop with the arm does not portray well. It doesn't. So I would assume he's a second baseman, 4th or 5th outfielder type, or a super utility guy that could just play all over the place. I don't know the answer, Josh. I don't know. I don't know who's third.
I needed the answer to be what you told us last time we talked. You still thinking that it was another move, a big move. I need you to say the person's not on the team yet.
But Matt Arnold's not done. He's going to bring in a third baseman. Put all these questions to rest.
Well, it does scream of another move. It really does. It's the perfect setting for that move. The table is set for that move. You saw Jose Quintana sign with the Rockies, $6+ million. That was a little too rich for the Brewers. So you need to go in that ballpark. They may have talked to Quintana. I'm not sure, but you need to go in terms of money into that ballpark for a third baseman. Or, guys, I wouldn't say shock the world, but you've got enough prospect capital to go Christmas shopping. You kind of do. You do. Go out there and look around and say, hey, that's a dude right there. And maybe not a guy that has 4 or 5 years of team control. I know they love those guys. Maybe a guy that's got 2 years of team control left, and then give up a Cooper Pratt, maybe. I'm just throwing these names out there. Not your studs and Jesus Mate, Pena, Andrew Fisher, etc. But a Brock Wilken, to answer the third base question, he'll be given a shot at it. He will, but again, take some of your prospects for once and outbound them instead of just always looking to bolster the prospect capital.
Tim Allen joins us on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Timmy, one more, then we'll let you go.
Okay.
Our next conversation is about our favorite ticket stubs. Remember ticket stubs?
I do.
What are your favorite ticket stubs?
On my shelf, I have it's a glass, I want to say McDonald's, is it? A McDonald's ball and glove logo from the 80s. It's not a cocktail glass, taller, maybe a big old glass of milk or something kind of glass. And I shoved, Trevor, all my ticket stubs in there from just so many events. It not just baseball, it was football and basketball and concerts and things like that. The best kind of thing I have is a lanyard that has 2 ticket stubs. They're back to back, one on each side. And one is the final game at County Stadium, and then the first game at the then Miller Park.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, and that one hangs. That one hangs near that glass, with all the other ones just shoved in there. You look through those, and I'm seeing 1978 lower grandstand ticket, doubleheader, Brewers and Texas Rangers. And you look through these things, you can't necessarily remember every single game. There's one in there that is, speaking of the Rangers, there's one in there that I've got George Bush to sign it.
Oh,
when I was younger.
Wow.
And that was just in the cup?
Yeah, that's just in the cup right there. But when he owned the team, he was down probably, I don't know, 4th row or something. And we were teenagers, I guess, at that time. And we just kind of hung out and just went down. Hey, can you sign this? And he scrawled 2 or 3 of our ticket stubs there. That's in there somewhere, too.
Tim Allen, the franchise, back from Vegas and giving all things Brewers perspective. Timmy, thanks for jumping on with us, bud. We'll talk to you next week.
You got it. Thanks, guys.
Tim Allen joins us on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. When we come back, what are your favorite ticket stubs? We talked a little bit about this yesterday, a whole segment dedicated to it today. I've got a couple to share. I know Josh does too, and so do you. The Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line, 414-677-1250. Your favorite ticket stubs. Up next, we're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. What is your favorite ticket stub that you have in your ticket stub collection? Kids, ticket stubs were something we used to get for sporting events when there was actually tickets involved and not your phone. And we love them dearly. Those are memories. I don't know what's going to happen in the future when you have to sit and scroll through all your screenshots or your leftover tickets in your Apple wallet to figure out where you were and when and how.
I don't know. They'll just be deleted. We'll just start storing phones. Oh, this is my 2001 to 2005 phone.
Gross. Trevor Thomas, Josh Albrecht, Inside Wisconsin Sports on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. So what are your favorite ticket stubs? Wisconsin, 414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text Line. The 262 says, I don't have many ticket stubs, but my two favorite are from the Killers concert that opened the Fiserv Forum. It was the first event held at the Forum, and the concourse was full of TVs playing Brewers baseball as they pushed for the playoffs in 2018. See, that's a great story. That is what I love about ticket stubs, is that they all come along with some kind of story. Josh, do you have a favorite ticket stub? Like if you had to pick one.
Mine was from my first Packers game, which it was not I think I was a kid, 7 or 8, but my dad took me to the game. The Packers won 6-3 at Lambeau. It was hot. It was very, very hot.
Yeah.
And Brett Favre threw one touchdown pass, which was called back due to a holding penalty. And so, it was not an exciting game at all. But I was a kid. And at the time, I thought, we didn't have a ton of money. And so this might be one of the only times I ever get to go to a game. It was exciting.
So the set behind me is the podcast set that I use for the Inside Wisconsin podcast. And you can watch us live on YouTube and Twitter at WI Sports Radio. I have bobbleheads back here that all have that all have a story attached to them. There's some stupid inside jokes with those trophies that are behind my head, Little League trophies and a Pinewood Derby car trophy. All of the co-hosts for the podcast all have Emmys. I'm like, well, screw you and your Emmys. There's some trophies, including a first place Pinewood Derby trophy. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
In this collection that I have here are 3 ticket stubs, including my favorite one. I'm going to show them on the screen if I can get it to work with the lighting and the focus. Cool. That first one is from the Stag Bowl, December 15th, 2007. That was the day my brother won the national championship at UW Whitewater. I was in Section C, row 26, seat 10. An absolute blast. That was the 3rd straight Division III championship that they were in. And this is a ticket that I will never give up. But it's amazing how these things weather. I have 2 other ticket stubs here. One is the return of Brett Favre to Lambeau Field wearing purple.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Yep.
Gross. I lost my voice for 3 days. I booed that guy so hard. Not even kidding.
And then you kept the ticket stub.
Damn right I did. That's historical.
Yeah.
Last one, and then we'll get to the phone. And more of your texts on the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text Line, 414-677-1250. The Capital One Bowl, the 60th anniversary of the Capital One Bowl, January 2nd, 2006, Orlando, Florida. This is the game that was Barry Alvarez's last game as Badgers head coach. I was working at a radio station in Madison. I don't know why I had this. I think this ticket stub was folded and still in my wallet somehow. And there I see Barry Alvarez.
Oh, nice.
And so I'm like, oh my God, he's got to sign this, even though that's like frowned upon. You don't typically do that in our business. I'm like, well, when in Rome. So that is signed. You can see it on the top of the ticket stub. I know we're on the radio, but we're also live on YouTube and Twitter. Signed by Barry Alvarez, his last game as the Badgers football head coach. I know he coached a couple other games when they were without a head coach. That doesn't count. This is the last one for sure. It's also the game. I should have Joe Thomas sign this. This is also the game that Joe Thomas blew out his ACL, I believe.
Oh, he'd love to sign that and relive that memory. Yeah.
All right, to the phones, Josh. Who we got?
Yeah, on the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text Line, we want yours as well, 414-677-1250. This is Ken in Watertown.
Ken.
Hey, Hey guys, a couple of my favorites is I have a complete run of 1974 championship 1 through 7 are all the home games for the Milwaukee Bucks. And believe it or not, the $6 a ticket for Game 7. $6.
Wow.
And I've got all of that. I've got the 77 NBA All-Star game when I came to Milwaukee, which is nice. And those were $25, I believe. And I've also got a rare the night before at the NBA All-Star banquet. I went to that and I kept my ticket stub for that. So a lot of Bucks memories that I have.
Interesting.
Nice.
That's fantastic,
Thanks,
Ken. Thanks for the buzz, man. That's awesome. 414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line. 414 says, my first Packers game, I went to Tampa, 1996. Tim from Hales Corners. That's awesome. I'm glad you still have that. The 608 says, I have a ticket stub from when the Badgers knocked off number 1 Ohio State. That's awesome, too. Look at these ticket stub text messages coming in. My goodness. 414, favorite ticket stub. 1988, the last Bucks game at the Mecca. The ticket stub is attached to one of the nets from the game. It's a long story that requires more context, but great memories. Kurt in Milwaukee.
We got Mike from Greendale on the line here.
Mike, what's up? What's your favorite ticket stub?
All right, so I got 2 of them. I have some of the George Webb streak tickets. I thought those were good to hang on to. And then I've got a WWF Mecca Arena ticket when Hulk Hogan fought Ted DiBiase for the belt, and that's the night that the head shrinkers took Matilda from the British Bulldogs.
Nice. Jeez.
That's so awesome. Call
That
back.
is awesome. Thanks for the buzz. We
Thanks,
appreciate
Mike.
that. The 920 says, the Wisconsin Badgers hockey game at Lambeau Field. I got to play on the ice the day before the game. After the win, watching the hockey team do the Lambeau leap in skates. Jeff, the handyman husband. Dude, I was there for that.
Were you?
I wonder if I have the ticket stub. So Amanda and I and the boys, we each have a box. And it's a box with a glass front on it that you can see all the ticket stubs. And we've been saving the boys' ticket stubs and putting them in there since they were babies because they literally went to games as babies. Amanda and I share all of the ticket stubs that we've been to between the both of us in the one box that we have. I'm sure somewhere in some box somewhere I have ticket stubs from my childhood. At least I'd like to think I do. But the ones that we started to save were the ones in our relationship, which has been 20 years this month.
Hey,
Wait a minute.
congratulations.
February.
Oh, my God.
I think it's 20 years next week. Yeah.
Your
February
20th?
19th, we started. No. Not marriage, just dating.
Oh,
we started
okay.
dating, I think, on February 19th, 2006.
We almost stopped the show. We almost had to put the show in park, ladies and gentlemen.
Not that one. Nope. That's 18 in April.
Okay, good. Whew. The 920 says it's got to be my first concert. Did you say that, Metallica? Did you read that one?
I did not.
Okay. Metallica, 16 years old. You know, I think it's really interesting, too. I mean, obviously, having Summerfest, there were a ton of ticket stubs, right, as a kid, like that you would hold on to and have. I never thought to hold on to one to just look at the price and what the value was, what you paid to get in comparison. But, you know, when we had Ken on and he's going through and he's saying, yeah, this one was $0.25. Yeah, I got into this game for $3. Oh, damn. It's expensive now.
I've tried really hard to go to games this is weird that I actually think this way. I go to games thinking the ticket stub is going to be a good story someday, or the screenshot of the stupid scanned ticket that we all have on our phones is going to be a good story someday. I choose to try to go to like Brett Favre's last game, right? I was at the 2008 NFC Championship game at Lambeau. Have that ticket stub. Amazing. The game before that, the Seattle Snow Bowl. Ryan Grant fumbled twice, went down 14-0, and Favre and playing snowball fights on the field came back to win that game and move on to the NFC Championship game. I have that along with the Sports Illustrated cover of the Snow Bowl with Favre on it.
Nice.
And when you can combine ticket stubs with like Sports Illustrated or other things,
Other
or
memorabilia.
programs,
Yeah,
that's where it's at.
Now I got to ask, because if and this conversation, we did touch on ticket stubs the other day. So first, let me just say that if you're someone that appreciates ticket stubs and you want them, I know for sure, at least the Brewers guest services, you can go there. If you're at a game, you can request to get a physical ticket if you can prove that you have that seat on your phone, and they will give you a ticket so that you have that souvenir. What my favorite ticket stub, but I don't know if this counts, so I'll get a ruling from you, is my one from Game 6 in 2021 of the NBA Finals. I didn't go in with a physical ticket stub though. It was on my phone. But then after they won, the Bucks made it to where you could pay $6 or whatever, and they would send you a physical ticket stub of your seat, what it cost, everything else from the game. And then they made it a step further to where I think if it was $36, then it'd be in like a nice in between two pieces of glass and something you could put on your out for display. So I have a ticket stub that way, but it wasn't like it didn't get scanned as a ticket stub. So does that count?
It's a gray area.
I know.
It's great. I think it counts. It counts because you were at the game.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and it was the seat that you sat in.
Yeah.
Just it wasn't. It's a duplicate of the screen ticket that we all have.
Correct.
It's no different than, I think, the Packers. Don't quote me on this. Packers, maybe another team here in Green Bay. They'll still send you the packet of season tickets. Does anybody have season tickets for the Packers that are listening? Do they still send you a booklet? It's literally a season ticket booklet that all of the tickets used to come in, I believe. Do they still send you that even though they're not scannable at the gate? I'd be curious on that. 414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law fan talking text line.
Same thing for Brewers fans for postseason tickets. I know that if you're a season ticket holder and you buy the postseason tickets, that I think that they send you those tickets. I don't know that they do it now, but I remember, at least I think it was back in 2018, like there were tickets, physical tickets printed that were for season ticket holder seats to the World Series. If the World Series was going to happen, like they had that ticket. Obviously, it didn't happen. So, but there is a physical printed ticket that was sent from the Brewers that said World Series, Brewers, whoever. Now, do those count? Do you hold on to that if it's for something that never happened?
That's deep. It gets deep. It's getting deeper. I want to ask Rami this question when he joins us coming up, but it's going to do something with the Bears. So
yeah, I don't want to
skip it.
I want to ask him if he liked the Valentines.
Well, and if he didn't hear them, we'll read them to him.
Which, by the way, I got to thank everyone, by the way, on the Nicolay Law Fan Talk text line for being with us today. You guys have sent in a few. Scotty Tiffany said roses are red for Josh and Trevor. We love you both. Best show ever. Thank you. There were plenty more. And then I also wanted to read this one from someone in the 920 that just signed it New Dad. If you missed it, we had the conversation in the morning mind dump where we were just talking about being a dad and going through things with sports. And Trevor was talking about how Riker finished his 8th grade basketball career and didn't get to start with the other 8th graders that were his
last home game.
His last home game for essentially what would be the equivalent of senior night. And the 912 chimes in here and says, my son is 9 months old, and you just made me cry thinking about this happening. Thanks for the segment about sports and real life. Signed, a New Dad. That's what it's about. It's exactly what it's about.
Take that back to sports, guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, when we come back to sports with Rami.
Yeah, I guess.
The Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
Okay. Dude, and thank God. I've been dealing with this voice thing all week. I'm not gonna be doing much talking at all the whole weekend. Well, the thing is like I asked Sparky, never had any of the symptoms. His what he had, like complete opposite of me. He said like super bad body aches and all this. I was like, no, I've been fine. Just my voice, just my throat, and then a little sniffle. But which I'd much rather have had what he had. Like sore throat's the worst.
I don't know, dude. What I had around Christmas time, that's as sick as I've been in a long time. And it wasn't a sore throat. It was like everything.
Yeah.
Nice Sparky comment. What's up? I'm about to go on for...
Rami, this is for you. We just want to make sure you knew what it sounded like to be, patriotic.
This was the song you chose? All right. I would have played Bruce Springsteen, Born in the USA. I love
Josh
that song.
Josh was on the spot. I mean, it was just quick.
Okay. I'll reserve my thoughts on this particular song. I'll just say I love America.
I was hoping it wasn't going to
go there. Hey, you guys.
All right. Not doing it. Inside Wisconsin Sports, Trevor and Josh, Rami Makloff joins us from 9 to noon with John Kuhn. Punt, abort, do whatever you got. Moving on.
That was all I was going to say on it. That was all I was going to say.
What's your favorite ticket stub, Rami? We were just talking about our favorite ticket stubs that have the most memories. What's yours?
I heard you guys say that.
If it's Bears, keep it.
No, I've only been to a few Bears games. I think football is better on TV. I don't love attending NFL games. That's more for the experience than it is for like watching the game.
Oh, for sure.
I went to the last game at the old Chicago Stadium where the Chicago Bulls used to play. And somewhere I have that ticket stub, and my buddy and I we should not have done this, but I'm pretty sure the statute of limitations is up. Like because they played they played hockey there as well. The Blackhawks used to play there, and me and my friend, why am I hearing myself in my ear like what I said 5 seconds ago? Oh, okay, there we go. Me and when you're playing in a place that's dual hockey basketball stadium, they lay down the court over like whatever is underneath it. Me and my friend, we went to the very edge of the court and we just broke off a little piece of the wood. We just broke off a little piece of the court, and so I have that and the ticket stub somewhere like together. They're like rubber banded together. I have this big box of memorabilia and mementos and things like that. Also, I saw Fish 15 times in concert. In my younger days, I have all 15 of those bundled up somewhere. I'm sure there's like some. I probably have the ticket stub from when Tuffy Rhodes hit 3 home runs in his debut for the Chicago Cubs. That's just a few of them. But the piece of the court with the ticket stub, to me, that's a pretty cool. That's a pretty cool thing to have.
That's amazing. I was thinking about that when somebody called in and said they had the. Oh no, it was Tim Allen. Tim Allen said that he had the ticket stub from the last game.
Yeah.
The last game at County Stadium, and then the first game at Miller Park. My father-in-law, I mentioned this the other day. It's back here. It's a brick from County Stadium, so it's not a ticket stub. But I thought about that when you were talking about. And then this is funny. My wife's gonna kill me for this, but it's good. So we were at Eric Church at Miller Park AmFam Field a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
we had a good time. We'll put it that way. Real good time. On our way out. On her way out, my wife reaches down and takes a handful of the warning track and puts it in her pocket.
Nice. That's awesome.
I may have asked her to do that. I can't remember.
That's great.
You know what?
I'm leaving with something, as Denzel Washington said. I'm leaving with something.
I might have that dirt here. Hold on.
So is it just like in a little pouch, like a little Crown Royal bag or something?
That's the thing. I feel like too many times those are like decisions you make, not thinking about your next decision.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
what am I going to do with this?
Right. I want this. Now what?
I swear it's here someplace.
Well, even if you had it, we know what dirt looks like. That's my point. Like you have that. That's what it's like. Not something you display. Like it was the same thing with the people that got like the part of Lambeau, like the grass.
Yeah, that's awesome. What do you mean?
Yeah,
I don't care if it's grass or not. That's incredible.
But okay, but then like you have to still have something to be able to show that it was like that type of grass. Otherwise, it's just grass. Like you're just showing me grass. No different than you're gonna find this and show me a bag of dirt.
I am. I'm showing. I found it.
I know what it looks.
Thank God.
Yeah.
That is not what I expected. Whoa.
Yeah,
Wow.
It's not. Shut up. It's not dirt. There's little pebbles and stuff in here. Come on.
Crazy.
I will punch both of you.
Ooh.
I do think it's pretty cool. I didn't need to necessarily see it because it's
a bag of dirt.
He's right. It is a bag of
but
when you look at that bag of dirt, you know what it is,
right.
and it holds a special place for you. So I get it. That's why I took a piece of the court at the old Chicago Stadium. But
it's just wood. It's just wood. What are you going to display wood?
Did it look like just a piece of wood, or did it?
It looked like a piece of a basketball court.
Right, so that's different.
Did
it's a
it,
piece
or
of a
was
basketball court.
Well, I mean, I guess you could just think it's just a piece of hardwood
Oh,
flooring.
maybe it's just
you know what I mean?
This isn't just dirt. It's a piece of the warning track.
Hey, if it was just no, you're wrong, Trevor here, but you're also wrong, Robbie. If you can't tell that it's the piece of a court, then you just have a wood chip essentially.
I don't have it on display. Like I said, I just have a big box of mementos and memorabilia.
So that's my point. I don't care if you keep your bag of dirt. Just it's not something that you highlight. When people come over, you don't
tell me how to display my dirt.
I absolutely will. You put that, you don't put that on the mantle. You don't, that's not a conversation. Oh, very nice bag of dirt. Oh, no.
I didn't think we'd be starting to fight here this morning. Not with this topic.
Over dirt or bags of dirt.
Over literal dirt.
Welcome to Inside Wisconsin Sports. We will fight about the dumbest crap ever. Dirt. Did you hear our Valentine's Day wishes for you?
I did not. No, I did not.
We're going to have to read them.
Yeah, all right.
For me in particular?
Yeah.
And people are really like
well, we did them for
people have thoughts on me. People really have thoughts on me and what I do.
Every Friday we do a top 5.
Okay.
Top 5 Friday.
Yeah.
We do lists of things. And today, with tomorrow being Valentine's Day, And I was talking about, so Jordy, my firstborn, is 9, and in school, like, he had to take a shoebox, make a box to collect Valentines, decorate it, and then you bring the little cardboard Valentines to hand out to everyone in the class,
Sure.
blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, wouldn't it be fun to make those cheesy ones for or from everyone here at the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network?
Okay.
So we kept it to 5 since it's a top 5 Friday. But you were on both of our lists.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm flattered.
You want me to go first, Trevor?
Well, yeah, you wrote one as if it was Rami writing one, correct?
Yeah. So this was if you were giving out a little cardboard Valentine to our audience. I don't cheer for America. I cheer for the Bears. But this Valentine's Day, let me show you that I care. Love, Rami.
Listen, I cheer for America.
No, you don't.
I just don't cheer for the Olympics.
Oh, you don't cheer for that song,
You mean
apparently.
with
No,
America?
no.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that song.
Here's the one I wrote for you, Rami.
Uh-huh.
Roses are red, violets are blue. I hate the Bears, but not you. Unless you keep this Bears crap up, then you're dead.
That's sweet. Thank you, Trevor. I appreciate that.
No
I don't know if you guys heard. I apologized for my Olympics.
I did hear that. I actually brought that up.
All
We
right,
talked about this yesterday in regard to the, was it yesterday, Josh? They all blend together.
Yeah.
In regard to the Olympics and where we're at, how we're watching and so on. And before we talked about it, I did preface that you did apologize.
Yeah.
I did hear that.
Yeah. And when people can't get over it, that just makes me think I struck a nerve, and deep down inside that I'm right. Like, if you can't take the apology and just digest that and be like, all right, he apologized, end of story, that makes me think that deep down inside that I have a point. You know what I mean? Like, let it go, bro. I apologize. What more? And nobody made me apologize. Our bosses didn't apologize. I wasn't because of any backlash I got where I was like, oh, maybe people aren't going to like me. I just thought I should apologize, so I did.
Nailed it. You nailed it. Oh, apologize. Yeah. Live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Stay tuned for 9 to noon. We're inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. See you Monday.
Because we're not done yet.